Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and making some really good trades, and let's dive right into the analysis here as we're actually going to cover a little bit more tonight because we have printed a new monthly candle. We are entering the month of March, so it's going to be a brand new month and we're going to have a whole lot of analysis to give out. So when we take a look at the SPY here, we had a nice little update. The PCE came in line with expectations. Obviously, we did not get any drop whatsoever. And it appears that the market may be getting ready to potentially continue higher if we take out this pivot at the all-time high, which is pretty darn close, I would say. The previous pivot is right here at 510.17, I think, or 510.13 on the SPY. So again, I don't know if it's going to be too hard for the markets to continue to float up and push higher, which it very well could. Triple Qs here almost made a new all-time high. It appears that the wave 2 could potentially be in here. We're getting ready to absolutely take off in a wave 3, which could, propel us to the 470 levels. Right now we are at 439. Again, I wouldn't be too surprised to see a deeper wave 2 pullback, but for now this is what we got going on, and if the count is correct, then we should continue moving higher. Same thing with the IWM. The IWM actually, let me just take a look here. Looks like we could be doing maybe an overshooting B wave here and a bit of an ABC, and if we are going to pull back, then the IWM should pull back pretty severely in a deep manner, and then you should get a follow-up rally afterwards. So a pretty strong one as well. So that's what I see right now for the IWM, and we'll take a look at individual names in just a moment. Obviously, a lot of people are saying I got the thing wrong. I don't know if they watched the video or if they just read the thumbnail, but obviously we were expecting a pullback. Charts were set up that way, but it doesn't have to happen that way. And if the market wants to continue trending higher, then it's just going to be, people are going to continue to buy the dip, and this market will continue to float higher. But it make no mistake, we are getting a very large amount of selling, right? When we take a look at the dark pool data, I can actually pull a few charts here for you guys. We have the number one trade in the Apple short in history. So we actually have the inverse ETF for Apple, I believe. Was it this one? Yeah, so the Apple bear shorts have obviously closed. The number one trade came in. So that's why I was looking to potentially open a long position on Apple today. And then NVDA, this one is actually pretty interesting. I think this was the second largest trade since inception, came at the highs today. I think it was valued at, let me just take a look here, $6.15 billion, 464 times the average size. So that's one single trade. The number one trade came in at 450, right at the 450 levels here, right around the lows. I wish I shouldn't say the lows, but right around the consolidation area. So I'm most likely expecting this to be selling, but there's no saying that NVIDIA is just going to keep there's no saying that if NVIDIA is going to pull back. But again, we are long in the tooth, very overbought. What was this one? This was Costco, I think. This one was Costco, 656 million at the highs, and then we have Meta right here. So Meta, another number 11 trade since inception, coming in the highs as well as it continues to float higher. And finally, I believe we had, let me just see here. I think it was the VOO. I'm not sure if that one, if I just missed it. Although it was a print at the near the all-time highs as well. Anyways, if you guys want to join the Discord, the Hedgeline Trading Discord, it's free. And I'm doing the $500 to $5,000 challenge, although we're not off to a great start, because right now Amazon and Meta continue to push higher. I have to put options on that, but we'll see how it plays out because we still have some time on the clock here. But yeah, I mean, we'll take a look at the new monthly candle that we printed on the futures here, and it's showing that we could possibly continue to get more upside on the monthly time frame. But we are long in the tooth, and the daily time frame has just printed a green dot, but we need to confirm it. But it looks like this market still wants to continue to go higher. It still wants to be pushing higher for some reason. Same thing on the NASDAQ. You know, we had a nice little potential short opportunity setting up, but the market reversal on the PCE today, it looks like it's going to continue to push this one even higher. Same thing on the Dow Jones, and the Russell 2000 is a little bit not as bullish because there's less green money flow and it's actually starting to roll over, but we'll have to see once that happens. Weekly time frame showing increasing green money flow, and the monthly time frame is also showing some pretty bullish dual band strength index numbers. And I mean, everyone's sort of getting on this. You know, we're all getting on like one side of the trade here. You know, everyone's getting long. So this is usually the scenario that you see for a potential like blow off top, and you rally into the danger area. You continuously get up days nonstop, and at that point, you know, you start to peter out. You lose momentum. You get a pretty big correction, and then you get one last reversal up, but you make a lower high, and then that's when your wave 2, or you know, that's the retrace, and then you start a whole new cycle lower, right? But that's what I see for the market right now. We're still not in my danger area, although we are getting very close to it. Let's take a look at some individual names. Let me take a look here. We'll take a look at ROKU. Oh, let me take a look at ROKU here. Yeah, bit of a down day on ROKU today. So again, we're looking for a bit of a wave 4 retrace here, but it is a very tough trade at the moment. It is in the buy area, but we'll have to see once we get there. Let me take a look at some other trades here. Just give me one moment. Sorry, someone's knocking on my door. Let me just pause the recording and I'll pick it up in just a few moments. All right, there we go. We get back to the analysis here. I just answered the door. Let me take a look at Starbucks. We cover Starbucks a lot, and we'll see where we're going right now with this one. So a nice little move up on Starbucks today, up 2%. So if it continues like it's been going, then we should finally be getting out of this rut here and continuing in a third wave move. And we'll know once we're in a third wave, once we take out these peaks here on the RSI, and then we should continue to impulse up into the 102 level if it's able to get above this resistance. But we'll see once we get there. Anyways, let's move on. Let me take a look at some comments here. See what people are requesting. I think someone was requesting Doge, but I do that on my crypto channel. Take a look at Rivian. So the whole the EV sector isn't doing too hot at the moment. And Rivian gapped down on earnings and took out its low here. It's low at $11.62. So this is not a great chart at the moment. You know, I really don't like this this chart for Rivian. There's not enough data for me to really analyze, but like the best that I could do with this is to like say it's just starting off with like an ABC, and you IPO'd up here and it's just been constantly selling off, and I don't know what the fundamentals are for this company. I'm not following the fundamentals for Rivian, but I'm assuming that they're not doing too hot, and the guidance was pretty bad. So how much of a drop was this on earnings? Let's take a look. Let's see here. Down about 26%. Wow, so that is pretty significant. And the fact that it continues to make lower lows is not very, it's quite worrisome. You know, it's like these kinds of patterns can continue to go lower, and they'll do share dilution. It's like a go to zero type of chart. But I mean, I don't want to say that about this company because I don't know what they do, but that's just what the charts say, right? So I mean, right now it appears that you could just be in the C leg and you continue to extend lower and lower, and for like a 5-wave move, like maybe you could say it's something like this, but you haven't even finished the 3rd wave or anything like that. So I mean, if I were holding this, I mean I wouldn't be holding this, but if I were in a trade from here and it just gapped down on earnings, then I would cut it, right? I would just take the loss and move on to a better setup. And I mean, I wouldn't even like the setup right here, but overall, it's a difficult trade for this one, and it's up to you, whoever is asking about this one, if you want to hold it or not. Let me take a look to see what else we have here. I think we covered PayPal and a Robinhood yesterday. And let me see. Oh, some nice hateful comments. Yeah, so I did get the call wrong yesterday, but I mean, people can be mad if they want. It's okay. I mean, I'm just making predictions on what the charts are setting up for, and the news can reverse and just change the whole chart completely, right? So right now it looks like we're set up to continue higher on a market cipher on the monthly candles. You know, we got new candles now. Daily time frame had a red dot, and it was set up for a potential pullback, but you just have a lot of green money flow. So none of these pullbacks may not be significant. You could just continue to flow higher, and it's been illustrated on the Elliott wave charts, right? The larger time frames show more upside. All right, so let's take a look at Tesla. I think Tesla had a nice little day today. It came up into the 0. It was up. Oh, okay, it was up 0.8%. 0.08%, but now we're getting back into the sell area once again. To me, I think it's just continuing to extend the C leg here. If it was to get over the sell area right here between 210 and 201, then I would stop out of any shorts. If you go above this area, then you stop out and you look for a retrace for a potential long position. But this thing could very well take off at any moment. But for me, I'm still looking for one more leg down in the wave 5. And this one we've been tracking very accurately. You know, we've been tracking the bounce down, this long position. This is where I entered another long or added to my long. And then it rallied beautifully up towards this to this area, at which points I took profit once we entered right away. It sold off, but now it's continued to go in once more, right? And the fact that it continues to enter is kind of a bullish sign. Right, and once it continues and continues like this, we've seen this in PayPal and IWM. When we were doing analysis on those charts back when they were down significantly. I think the IWM, when we were down here, we had a sell area right around this area here, and it entered it multiple times, and it got rejected, but it came back once again, and you could just see how bullish it was, and then we've taken off since then. Okay. So that's basically it. I think it was down here. Sorry, I was zoomed out, but essentially it's the same thing. We entered the sell area, and then we got rejected, and we came back again and again and again and again, and then you just blow off towards the upside. You get the picture. Let's take a look at some more charts here. Not the SPY, sorry. Let me take a look at some other individual names that we like to cover on a regular basis. We'll take a look at Unity Software. Unity Software, a bit of a flat day, not too much price action. It's still in the buy area, looking for it to come out of it. And we'll actually take a look at natural gas. Natural gas, we've been tracking natural gas as well. Natural gas came into our buy area here. Could the move already be done? Could the ABC already be done? And we're finished here. We're not going to go higher. It could. This is not a trend line. This is just the fifth wave, so I can move this a little bit higher so we can clean it up a little bit. But overall, I think nat gas should have more upside to the $2 level, but it would not surprise me if this ends early and we just get, we finish, we're done, and we start to roll over, because right now nat gas once we took out this pivot here, it went from being bullish to potentially very, very bearish, and now the prices can continue to melt down to the $1 level, which is quite unfortunate. But I think on the futures chart, we actually have a level all the way down here at $1. So right around this area here. Okay, so that would be your all-time low. And yeah, you could attempt a long there. I mean, but it's a long ways down, right? It's about 43% down. It doesn't seem like much from $1.08 to $1, but it's a really big move down. Let's take a look here at oil. Is oil attempting to break out? Oil has been attempting to break out the last couple of days here. It's had a few wicks. It's up right now, 32 basis points in the after hours. it's holding above its 200-day moving average. It is set up to go higher. And if it does go higher, you're going to go into this area here between 84 to 88, which we've been, tracking for a very long time. And it needs to be really impulsive. And if you do take out this high here, then we have higher targets for the larger move. But this would be very, very bullish for oil if that happens. But not too good for inflation. All right, let me take a look at Meta. I'll cover Meta, and I think we'll wrap it up from there. So Meta continues to push higher in this fifth wave. If Meta continues up, then you take out these pivots. Then you just need to be ready and look out for the divergence to end, right? But if it does take out this pivot right here on the third wave, then you're essentially still in your third wave, right? But this would probably require a very big move from Meta. Probably pump up above the $520 levels and continuously to impulse higher, and then you could say that you're still in your third wave. NVIDIA is just chopping sideways right now. It's continuing to build bearish divergence, but overall, it's still it's a very bullish name. Everyone loves to buy it. I think I saw some news today that pension fund was buying $5 billion on leverage and adding it to their fund or something like that. So this is very interesting. So even pension funds are adding to NVIDIA at these levels, so $794 a share, and still buying. So I mean, you could see the demand is still out there. Lots of demand for these names. All right. I think that's about it for today. Don't really have much to add. I'll cover TLT and the 20-year yield. So the TLT is reversing higher now. And it looks like it's invalidated your wave 1 because the wave 4 has pushed higher. So to me, this looks like the C leg could have possibly ended early. And we're already off to the races. And the TLT is going to continue higher, which means you've truncated and you're just going to keep pushing higher unless this is your wave 1, right? Which you can make the case for it that this is your wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? You can make the case that that's what's happening, but for me, on the shorter time frames, it could have invalidated it. But I'll give you guys a bullish and bearish scenario. So that's your super bearish scenario, where the yields are going to continue up. But if it's ended right here and the bulls have defended it, then you're going to continue to push much and much higher on TLT, and you're going to impulse out of this in a third wave. Same thing for the 20-year yield. Essentially, you continue to enter the resistance area for the yields that I've illustrated here. And if you're going to reverse down, then you're going to impulse down in a 5-wave move. And this would be very bullish for the equity markets. And you're going to see the NASDAQ, the Russell 2000, the Russell 2000 here, blow off top. Like you're going to see a blow off top scenario. And this is why I have the IWM with much higher targets here. I think the IWM would have to catch up significantly and go to like the 230 to the 250 level, maybe even. But I have it as the 248 level as its max upside. So that's for my analysis for tonight. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. I'm not making any predictions for tomorrow. I don't have any PCE dump here, but I'll probably make another clever thumbnail that'll trigger some people. But anyways, have a good evening, guys. Peace.